Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, July 13th. Skipped yesterday. I did get an email from Reaper thanking me for sending the stuff back and giving me a $20 gift card to their store, which seems so little compared to all that I sent back, but really they didn't have to do anything. And it's really clever that they did, because now I'm like, well, I guess I could get some stuff I missed out on from previous Kickstarters. But if I place an order, it's going to end up being more than what they sent me, which means they're going to get more money. And also, I gamed with my buddies. Bob started his session 1 of his game, so fun. Today, got off work, and I'm making buffalo chicken dip. That'd be nice. And I have not decided on a movie, so I'm gonna get this in the oven, and then we'll come back when I figure out what movie I'm gonna watch for movie day. And so I got the dip in the oven. I'm gonna have that for dinner. And I'm looking at my shelf of movies. I'm like, I don't know what I want to watch. But I do have something to watch long running that I'm like, well, if I don't want to make a decision, what's the next James Bond? Because it's the current long running series. Like, and the thing is, like, I don't want to have too many series going. At a certain point, I want to get into like the Middle Earth series, or the Star Wars, or the Wizarding World, and like all those. And I'm like, if I want to get into any of those, I'm going to want to finish James Bond first. You know, I'm going to want to wrap up, you know, one series before I get to the other. Anyways, let's see. Oh yeah! So last time was on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now we have Diamonds Are Forever. Sean Connery is back one last time as James Bond. My brain does not tell me what this movie is about, what this story is like. I have no recollection of what I'm getting into with this one. Other than the little fact sheet on here, I'm like, I don't know what this movie is. But we'll watch it. And we'll find out. So I'm gonna watch Diamonds Are Forever. And I would give Diamonds Are Forever 7.3 out of 10. Not the worst, but not the greatest. Now, I realized the last few movies, I've forgotten to read the back of the box. Partially because it's hard to remember on James Bond because there's nothing on the back of that box. But I did, a while back, download just all the James Bond movie back of box descriptions, which are of course from some back of box. Obviously they're written different for each one, but it's at least something. Let's read what it says for Diamonds Are Forever. Sean Connery stars as the dynamic 007 on the trail of a diamond smuggler who leads him on a nerve-shattering chase through Amsterdam, Los Angeles, and eventually glittery Las Vegas. Which I find a little interesting. They spend a little time in Amsterdam for sure. And then they spend 2 scenes, short scenes, in Los Angeles, basically getting off of a plane and driving away. And then they're in Las Vegas. So why is Los Angeles even mentioned? I don't know. But, it features Sean Connery back. He's older. I don't know, maybe it's not his age. Maybe he's just not interested in the role anymore at this point. He had chosen to leave, so maybe they bribed him back, but he still just doesn't care. Or maybe it's just that with age, it's a more difficult, more physical role. I don't know. But, yeah, there's parts of it he does great. There's other parts where I'm just like, doesn't have the same energy that he had in some of the earlier films. The overall plot, movie starts with him seeking out revenge against Blofeld and killing him. Not tied specifically to the previous movie, though obviously because of those events. He's seeking revenge. The last few movies before this one were all done out of order from the original stories. So originally there was the whole Blofeld murdered Tracy, and then we had a couple stories where James Bond is really mad at him and has like a personal vendetta. Instead, it's James Bond has a personal vendetta for a while, and eventually Blofeld murders Tracy. So that caused issues. Doing the stories out of order, which they did for, they needed specific weather in order to film at a certain time. There were things didn't line up for them to do on Her Majesty's Secret Service when they originally would have wanted to. But it just made things not work so well. So here, there's a quick revenge, and now they're after some diamond smuggler. I do enjoy the characters of Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wint. They are amusing. They're amusing characters. They're a nice pair of assassins for the opposition to have that feel a little different than many of the others we've seen. Anyway, so they're chasing around trying to figure out where these diamonds are. James is disguising himself as others, trying to do some real spy stuff, and it feels like some real spy stuff for a while, and it's nice. They end up tracking it down to, it's this. Diamonds are being smuggled, but not. The whole issue is diamonds are being smuggled away, but they're not being like put on the black market or doing. It's like, so they're like, what's going on? Are they planning to flood the market? What are they doing? It's like what the whole goal. Well, they're making a weird satellite thing that can be used to like blow up cities and stuff. James figures that out, and in tracking down, okay, so this is the person that owns the company that's doing it. Let's break into his penthouse, and it's 2 Blofelds. 2 more. There was a little tie and hint at it in the opening scenes when he killed Blofeld, but Blofeld was working on making more people look like him. Well, that means there's more Blofelds. There were, he wasn't just starting it, he'd already gotten some made. So, he kills one. Of course, the wrong one. And then Blofeld escapes, making it towards the end action scene when he's using his satellite to hold the world hostage. It's back there. Though I don't believe that's mentioned by name at this point. See, there's one problem I have with Blofeld. He's recast again. Again. They keep recasting him. And this time, they cast the actor that was like 2 movies ago as an ally of James Bond in You Only Live Twice or whatever it is. They cast the same guy as that, and I'm like, but that's the other guy. We know who that guy... That is deliberately confusing your audience. It's not like the thing with Felix, where he's been recast again as well. And I don't like it. But at least they cast someone new each time. This time they're recasting an actor that was a different character previously. It's just confusing. I'm like, I didn't remember a whole lot of the movie. I had vague memories of Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wint. I knew that this guy played Blofeld because when I saw him in the other movie, I was like, wait a minute, that's Blofeld. Isn't that Blofeld? I looked up and was like, apparently it's not Blofeld. Oh, he's Blofeld later. That's annoyingly confusing. I remembered the being cremated alive scene. Although, not well enough to remember that, oh, it was just pure luck that he got out of it, but that one stuck with me. Most of the movie wasn't incredibly memorable. It had some cool stuff. It was fun. Wasn't the greatest. There have been better James Bond movies. Still, I mean, it's nice to see Sean, even if he is aging or not doing as well as he had in previous James Bond movies. It's fun to see Sean back one last time. Because he started it all. And also because I know who we get to next. But we'll get to that next time. In this one, it ends with, well, maybe he killed Blofeld, but probably not because we didn't confirm it. So Blofeld's probably still managed to make it out of there, out of the explosion that he was in the center of. And I say that because in my brain, I have another scene from some other movie of him being dispatched of in a different way. So he's got to be back. I think, in part, I don't feel that the emotional position we were left in from the previous movie was properly resolved. James just lost his wife. And he goes into this movie, and the only emotion that he seems to have left of it is anger. There's no sorrow in it. There's no heartbreak. And it's going back to the previous actor before and playing more that character and less the character that George Lazenby had played, which had a lot more real emotion. It's a bit of a different take on the character, but because we went back, it didn't... I didn't like how it was resolved. I would have liked a better emotional conclusion to the story. Because we ended the previous movie like with him just in denial and heartbreak and just, it was in the middle of a scene. And they pick it up at the point where he's just angry. There are more stages of grief that they could have gone through to help us as an audience get past that. But they just chose one. Oh well. That's probably my biggest bitter bit about the movie is he's doing all that and then he's just all being the James Bond to all these random women again. Whatever. It's fun. You know, they had brief glimpses of Moon Rover and some sort of aquatic hover vehicle. So they had some interesting vehicles. They had a amazingly hilarious police car chase through Las Vegas. That was a funny scene. There were definitely highlights to it. Oh well. It is late. I am tired. I'm calling it a night. Thank you for joining me and join me as my journey continues